Well, I think we should be concerned.
Preparing for the worst.
There is something for us to be worried about.
Hoping for something a little less than that.
There's no question we are living through the early stages of the climate change crisis right now.
We have 360 in-depth coverage focusing on preparedness, recovery, and new firefighting tools.
We want to make sure that Colorado is ready.
The worst of the fire season is coming. State leaders want you to know we're ready.
If you do that kind of work ahead of time, then don't live in fear, just live in preparation.
Well, good evening, and thank you for watching Denver 7 News at 6. I'm Ann Trujillo.
And I'm Shannon Ogden, live in Superior. I'm just west of 36 in McCaslin. It is just eerie out here. A thick haze has choked off the sun, bone-dry conditions, and violent winds, so similar to the winds that carried the Marshall Fire to this very spot on December 30th. Of course, that was December. Now we're at the time of year where these fires will become more common. And tonight we have 360 in-depth look at the months ahead. We're focused on three perspectives tonight. We have the state's wildfire outlook for the rest of the year, what it will take to rebuild from a devastating fire, and why some firefighting equipment is getting delayed making it to Colorado. We have in-depth team coverage tonight. We begin with Denver7's Russell Haythorne with a look at the state's outlook for the rest of the season. Russ?
Yeah, Shannon, the outlook certainly isn't great. State officials saying today only average precipitation in the forecast between now and mid-June, which they say will likely enhance drought conditions that we're already dealing with. Out at Centennial Airport earlier today, officials also warned that warm and dry projections suggest an earlier than normal start to the core fire season, which is in May, and snowpack peaked in late March, about March 28th, when it normally peaks in early May, leading to above normal fire potential there. In terms of preparedness, those 5 points that you mentioned: 1, the state has increased aerial firefighting weapons. 2, there is greater availability of aircraft to respond. 3, greater availability of fire engines and staffing. 4, more hand crews strategically placed throughout the state on high fire danger days like today. And 5, a new mobilization plan which allows for better dispatching of aircraft and ground support in the event of a large-scale fire like the Marshall Fire.
We're using as much science as possible, but we're still trying to outguess Mother Nature, and sometimes that doesn't always work out. But I do think if you take a look at the data of all of our recent fires in the last several years, and then you put it together with the predictions, there is something for us to be worried about.
In addition to weather and environmental factors, there's another problem. Overall forest health is said to be in, quote, terrible shape. Fire officials saying today that creates a high fire danger, especially where there's been a substantial amount of beetle kill in the lodgepole pine stands and where heavy dead and downed timber remains. So officials said today, if you're planning to recreate in the high country, or for that matter here on the Front Range this spring or in the summer, you should take extra precautions and be extra vigilant when you're out and about, no matter what you're doing. For now, we're live in Golden, where it's very windy this evening. I'm Russell Haythorne. Back to you.
All right, we'll hope that plan works. Russ, thank you so much. And today we saw, well, some of the worst fire conditions we have seen in more than a decade. The National Weather Service called this extremely critical fire conditions, both for the Front Range and for the Eastern Plains. And this afternoon, fire crews in Colorado Springs got a fire under control. This is near I-25 and Interquest Parkway. This one burned near houses, very near. Evacuation orders were put into place. And we're also now just learning of a new fire. This is Teller County. Mandatory evacuations. This is south of Florissant. So let's bring in our chief meteorologist, Mike Nelson, for a little more insight. Also, Mike, details of a cold front that hopefully will improve these horrible conditions.
Well, it can't get much worse than what we've had today, and it will get a little bit better for later tonight and into the weekend. Look at these highs on the Eastern Plains. Many of these records, including the 89 in Denver, along with those high temperatures, high winds. This is the current wind speed, not the gusts, just the sustained wind speed. Some of the gusts have been getting up close to 70 miles per hour on the Eastern Plains. And then let's throw in the humidity. This is desert dry air in the single digits all across the Eastern Plains. But you do notice higher humidity not too far to the west. That's because there is a cold front coming into our state. And with that, we have snow advisories in the mountains, blowing dust to the southwest, wind and fire warnings on the eastern plains, severe thunderstorms in Kansas. So we'll get quite a change in the weather coming up for tonight into early tomorrow's. Colder air comes in, but most of the moisture will stay in the high country.
Oh, we could use any little bit. All right, Mike, thank you very much. So where I'm standing right now is the Chavez family homestead. 4 houses, home to 5 generations of that family destroyed in the Marshall Fire. Well, Ted Chavez gave me a tour this afternoon. Now, the family right now is scattered through the area waiting to come home. And as it is for so many others, the frustrations are just overwhelming. As you can see, the very first step toward rebuilding, debris removal, hasn't even begun yet.
This has been 3.5 months and everything's still sitting here.
It hurts.
Yeah.
It really hurts. It's like, when do we move on? I mean, that's the whole thing, is when can we move on? Where's Boulder County responsible in helping us with this? It wasn't my fire. I didn't burn my garage and my house down. Open Space did. Open Space burned the whole town of Superior down. No one mitigated Open Space. Why are we responsible to pay for everything and above because Boulder County didn't take care of their open space? Or maybe Superior didn't take care of their creek area. I don't know. I don't have those answers, but it'd be nice to hear it.
Oh, so understandable, that frustration. It's so much frustration. Great people, Chavez family. Thank you for your time tonight. And fingers crossed, their debris removal will start in the next couple of weeks. Now, this week, debris removal process got underway both in Superior and in Marshall, unincorporated Boulder County. The cleanup will likely take about 4 months to complete. Cleanup then is expected to begin in Louisville next week. Now, Colorado lawmakers have taken a lot of steps in recent years to try to put the state in the best possible position to prevent and suppress fires.
That is true, Shannon. Of course, a lot of that effort is focused on fighting fires from the air. And Denver7 politics reporter Megan Lopez is live. And Megan, last year they invested $24 million into buying a new Firehawk.
Yeah, that's right, and that would be Colorado's very first Firehawk. California already has 8 with another dozen on order. Those Firehawks are being retrofitted at a facility here in Colorado, actually in Inglewood, but it'll be a while before Colorado's own Firehawk is actually ready to go.
We want to encourage you to get prepared for a wildfire.
It's just about to be Fire Awareness Month in Colorado, a time
with Colorado experiencing large fires
when a bunch of people with badges will beg everyone to be responsible through FireWise campaigns while they brace themselves. For years, major wildfires have been an unfortunate fact of life in Colorado, and for years the state has relied on the federal government's 44 air tankers to help. But recently,
the demand for those assets is getting greater and greater, and we found ourselves in situations where we'd be at a large fire needing support from an air tanker or a helicopter, and it would be in one of the other 19 states in the West.
So last year, Colorado lawmakers took matters into their own hands.
And it was time to rethink the way we do business.
Spending $24 million on a Firehawk, a retrofitted Blackhawk that can drop 1,000 gallons of water and transport a dozen firefighters at a time.
It is a true multi-mission firefighting machine. It's rugged. It was built for battle.
But here's the thing, that Firehawk won't be ready for months. In fact, the company retrofitting it in Inglewood hasn't even gotten a hold of the helicopter yet. And then there's a supply chain to contend with.
There's a global supply chain issue. We've done our best to pre-order equipment and have it on hand by the time the aircraft arrive.
They're expecting to finally get that aircraft next month and then get to work.
It takes anywhere from 6 to 8 months to do that transition into a Firehawk.
It's not expected to be ready until November or December, so too late for this summer. But that's not the only state effort to fight fires from above. Last year, Colorado signed a contract to have the exclusive use of an air tanker and helicopter for 120 days. This year,
we are announcing, I think, some of our most aggressive efforts as in that plan to date.
Along with that contract, plans to expand $20 million in federal funds to extend the contract.
Those funds will go to contracts for additional air tankers and helicopters to quickly and decisively respond to fires before they get out of control.
The state is hoping they won't have to use them, but building up their aviation arsenal anyway and bracing themselves for a hot, dry summer ahead. So there is one potential hiccup to that plan. Those contracts for the air tankers and the helicopters are very competitive. Colorado is going to be competing with states like California that are facing the same hot, the same dry fire conditions, and they're going to be facing the same fire dangers that we and many other western states are facing. So all of that funding sounds nice, but it's really only going to matter if they can secure those contracts, Ann.
Absolutely. Megan, thank you for that. So let's give you an idea of some of the other new technology the state is hoping to bring in to help fight fires. Right now, state lawmakers want to start a pilot program for a remote camera that's a wildfire alert system. The camera system would be used for early detection of fires and would alert planes to hotspots.
Much like a military, here's your target to dump retardant and suppression on it. To put it out before, the traditional way of doing it is firefighters are out there, you know, the afternoon winds come up, the fire, we see a flame front and the smoke, the aircraft are launched. We're trying to get in where we will be doing that much earlier than we ever have been able to do in the past. So.
And that is only one of several bills state lawmakers have drafted to address fire season. This morning, Governor Polis joined state and local leaders to announce new legislation to help prepare for, respond to, and recover from wildfires. Senate President Steve Fenberg says recent fire seasons have influenced this new legislation.
There's no question we are living through the early stages of the climate change crisis right now. This is in many ways an emergency. We are not going to sit back and watch our state go up in flames, our communities devastated, our neighbors losing everything that they have. We have no choice, and we are eager to continue to take bold action.
So what would this new legislation do? Well, it's called Senate Bill 206. It would create 2 grant funds to help families and businesses rebuild after a natural disaster. It also creates the Sustainable Rebuilding Program, which includes $20 million for building energy efficient structures. The bill would also create the Office of Climate Preparedness to help coordinate disaster recovery efforts. Now, we have our full 360 in-depth coverage posted for you online at thedenverchannel.com, and there you can find links to the full 32-page wildfire preparedness plan, as well as a tracker of fires that are currently burning. And we'll be back right after this break.
Welcome back. I'm Shannon Ogden here live in Superior, where hundreds of homes were destroyed in the Marshall Fire. And tonight we have an in-depth 360 look at the rest of the fire season here in our state. This morning, Governor Polis joined other fire officials to give an update on just how they are staying prepared for this upcoming fire season. And the state plan really has 5 points. First, the state has increased aerial firefighting resources, as well as increased availability for these aircraft. There's also increased availability for fire engines and for staffing. Now, the state will also have more crews strategically placed on high fire dangers, like we're seeing today. Lastly, a new mobilization plan to allow for better dispatching. Now, already this week, we've seen at least 5 fires along the Front Range in southern Colorado. 3 of those caused evacuations just here in Boulder County alone. Now, down in Monte Vista, that's the San Luis Valley, 15 homes and outbuildings were destroyed by a very quick-moving fire on Wednesday. Also, it is so important to remember just how little it takes to start such a big fire. Today, Boulder County officials confirmed the in-car fire last month was started by a small campfire that just got out of control. And then yesterday, Boulder County said the Table Mountain fire earlier this week was started by a drone. It was being flown by CU researchers and it crashed. They were conducting severe weather studies, and the state has fire restrictions in place now to hopefully cut down on the risk of these fires.
Yeah, absolutely. We're all counting on that. And this is exactly why, Shannon, local jurisdictions put fire restrictions in place to prevent burning of any kind. Stage 1 fire restrictions prevent open burning and restrict fireworks use. Many counties across the Front Range are under these restrictions right now. Stage 2 restrictions are a step up, preventing open burning, and that means fireworks, chimeneas, and campfires. And the threat of wildfire will only increase going into the summer months. That's because we're still in the midst of a drought, and snowpack numbers are dwindling. This is the latest snowpack map that was just released today, and right now, not one of Colorado's water basins is above 100% of normal. All of southern Colorado is around 65% of normal. Earlier this week, we spoke to a climatologist who says these numbers could cause more restrictions to be put into place.
And in years where we have really low snowpack, sometimes we do see impacts from that, where we may see restrictions to watering if it's low enough. That all connects back to snowpack.
And typically we hit peak snowpack numbers in the first few weeks of April. And this year we hit peak snowpack in late March.